It's the PTM Annual Conference 2022. Are you ready? For 4 days, we will bring you seasoned coaches and experts from around the world to give you insight, clarity, and equip you guide your child on their journey to purpose. Wendy Ologe, a foremost parenting coach in Africa, Chidozie Eze, a personal development coach for teenagers, Nathalie Lefave, a holistic transformation coach and the creator of the emotion control method, Stephen Bastain, an entrepreneur, author with a passion for empowering young people, Dr. Omolola Okeowo, medical doctor and autism professional, Ochudo Ai, a certified life coach and emotional intelligence, anger management, fear mastery, and neuro-linguistic programmer with an interest in personal development and branding. Kamsi Chima, a budding entrepreneur, TEDx speaker, and peer mentor with a huge appetite for learning. David Folaromi, addiction counselor, substance abuse coach, and philanthropist. Etima Omer, exceptional teen mentor, certified counselor, and responsible teens coach on a mission to raise responsible young adults. Alueshima Shapira, curriculum expert, a trained teacher, assessor, and trainer, and early childhood education guru. Ade Jones, full-time house husband, TEDx speaker, author, coach, and therapist, an expert in helping parents support their children who troubles behavior. Wind Anare, an entrepreneur that runs a system that helps young people forge a favorably financial path, amongst other things. And now, our convener and host of the PTM Annual Conference, Mary Beth Chima, a leading advocate for parenting by modeling and 100% parenting support. She helps parents become true mentors and effective teachers to their children.
For more enquiries, please call 08130 621 566.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to those who were here before for our first session for the day. My name is Maribel Chima. If we haven't met before now, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to day 4 of the PTM Annual Conference. All right, so the PTM Annual Conference is an annual event, and this is our 3rd edition, and we are super, super excited to have you with us. All right, in the course of this conference, we have had 10 speakers. We've had 10 speakers speak to us already on different subjects and different areas of parenting. All right, one of our speakers couldn't make it because he was hospitalized, so we apologize that we won't be having one of our speakers at this event. But right now, we are expecting, our speaker will be on in a few minutes. But before then, we are going to play a few of the other things that we do at the PTM. All right, so this time of the year is an amazing or exciting time for us at the PTM. Okay, now it is the month where, of course, we give back to our community through the PTM Annual Conference. This conference comes to you for free at no charge. We bring you seasoned coaches and experts in different areas of parenting, and they come here to give you knowledge and pass knowledge down and share with our community at no cost. Now, when we say at no cost, it doesn't mean that a lot of people have not had to put in so much for this to happen. I mean, for instance, the speakers that we bring here, these are seasoned speakers, people that ordinarily, for you to have their attention for 1 hour, you must have paid, heavily. But hey, because these people understand being a part of a community, they understand giving back, their social responsibility, corporate social responsibility, or individual social responsibility. So they come here and they offer their time, offer their money, offer all of that just so that we can bring value and share value with you as a community and the world at large. Apart from that, we have volunteers who have worked with us during this period. These people have worked tirelessly to make sure that we have all that is making these events go smoothly. Okay, they've been working tirelessly in the last couple of days. We have the team, of course, that has put in so much to ensure that we can bring this to you. I mean, every one of these people, we cannot appreciate them enough. And this is the reason why we can bring this to you for free. The least you can do is appreciate them as they come. I mean, the least you can do is check them out and see what they offer. The least you can do is to share what you are experiencing here. Tag people, I mean, share on your platforms, invite people to come and be a part of this. Even after the conference, it's important. Invite them to the YouTube channel so that they can go through the experience of this conference, even if it's not live. Knowledge is never still. It's important that we have more and more people being a part of what we do. I have said this many times during the course of this conference, that if you are getting parenting knowledge alone and you are leaving the people in your circle out of it, when I say the people in your circle, I mean your siblings, your parents, your neighbors, your friends, your children's school, your minders who take care of your children, all of these people a part of your support group. Now, if you're getting knowledge alone and you're not helping these people get knowledge also, it makes your work difficult. Because first of all, you are never comfortable with leaving your children with these people because you feel they don't understand and they can't do all the things that you want them to do. Apart from that, we all need support system. We all need a support system. So you will need grandma at some point to support you. You will need your caregivers. You will need your friends. You will need, and then all of a sudden, you are afraid because you know that the things that you stand for, the things that you believe in, these people do not believe in the same thing. So it makes your work difficult. And worst case, you decide, okay, I would just be with my children alone by myself all the time. Now you will bring overwhelm upon yourself because you have decided that no other person can do for your children what you can do for them. So you see why you need to bring all these people to know the things or glean the knowledge that you're getting. So at every point, you know that you are on the same page. You are on the same page in your ideas, in what you believe in, and what you think parenting should be. So thank you very much for being here. If you've been here for the last 4 days, kudos to you. If you've been here just for today, well done. If you're here for the first time today, wow, well done also. You can still catch the replay of all that we've been doing here in the last 4 days. Just check in the group or whatever platform you're watching from. I'm sure there will be information about how you can get to our YouTube channel where you can catch the replay of all the sessions here. So thank you very much once more for being here. Thank you for being here. All right, so there is something else that we do during this period. We say we do a campaign basically, okay? It's called a Children's Day campaign. So what we do during the Children's Day campaign is we take a valuable book. We take a valuable book to low-income schools or schools where we have children from low-income homes. And then we take that book and we take goodies to celebrate with them during the Children's Day. Now, these are people that ordinarily would not have people really celebrate them during Children's Day, right? These are children that won't have people celebrate them during Children's Day or anything like that. So what we do during this period is we try to make them feel loved. We try to make them feel wanted. And so we go there and we take goodies with us, food, snacks, drinks, and all of that, sometimes music, and we play and have fun with them during that period. And before we leave, we make sure we appreciate them by leaving a quality book with them. So we're doing that again this year, and we are asking for people who would partner with us, people who would support us in this cause. And you can support by simply donating something for us to be able to carry this work, as we plan to. So we'll also go to orphanages. So it's actually low-income schools and then orphanages that we go to. All right. So if you would want to support us, the book costs 3,000 ordinarily, but the academy is paying a percentage of it. So the book is going for 2,500 naira. Now you can buy one copy or multiple copies of this book. Okay. All you need to do is send us the money. okay, or donate any item that we can take to these people, and we will be glad. At the end of this class, of this session, you will have the information that you need to make that donation to us, for us to be able to carry out this. Now we're going to go out on the 26th and 28th of May. That is at the end of this week. That's when we'll be going out. So if you're making a contribution, we'll appreciate the contribution in the next couple of days. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will just play. Last year we did this last year, so we'll play a video of this our campaign for last year. Meanwhile, our speaker will be with us in the next few minutes.
Security risk, COVID-19. But I've told parents, take them to anywhere you can take them for tomorrow, so they can enjoy their children. The donor, you brought it to our school pleasantly with a gift of a book and snacks to go with it. Really, really grateful. God bless you and prosper what you are doing with Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, ma'am. All right, ma'am.
Okay, so that was our visit to one of the schools in Abuja last year. I'm going to put on your screen some of the pictures from our visit also. All right. So these are some of the pictures from our visit last year. Sorry about that. So some people didn't want to be mentioned. They just said, okay, anonymous and all of that. So we have people who have made contributions. If you would like to make a contribution to this cause, you will see our numbers on the banner very soon. Just send us a message and let us know how you would like to be a part of this. All right. So we're going to play a profile of our guest speaker right away while we wait to meet our guests for the day. There we go.
Wendy Ologe is a seasoned parent coach and author of parenting bestsellers Connect to Correct, Walking Your Child Through Puberty, The Discipline That Works, and From Yelling to Calm, including many parenting guides. Every single one being a bestseller, selling hundreds and thousands of copies. She is the founder of the Intentional Parents Academy, a coaching outfit dedicated to equipping parents and intending parents to intentionally raise their children positively, especially in the face of our decaying societal values. Wendy aims to lead parents with everything it takes to raise an excellent child mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically, because she believes that parenting the next generation better is the way to have a better world tomorrow. She helps parents identify the parenting style that works for each child. She also runs an online community on Facebook called The Intentional Parents. Her group, The Intentional Parent, was recognized as one of the most relevant and engaging parenting groups in Africa in 2019. Wendy is also the executive director at Smart Office. Her work experiences include years in international non-governmental organizations with over 10 years of experience in USAID leading projects. Wendy also has experience in the banking sector. She likes to refer to her husband as the governor and a god. The union of over 13 years is blessed with 2 biological children, a set of twins, and a foster daughter.
It's the PTM Annual Conference 2022. Are you ready? For 4 days, we will bring you seasoned coaches and experts from around the world to give you insight, clarity, and equip you guide your child on their journey to purpose. Wendy Ologe, a foremost parenting coach in Africa, Chidozie Eze, a personal development coach for teenagers, Nathalie Lefave, a holistic transformation coach and the creator of the emotion control method, Stephen Bastain, an entrepreneur, author with a passion for empowering young people, Dr. Omolola Okeowo, medical doctor and autism professional, Ochudo Ai, a certified life coach and emotional intelligence, anger management, fear mastery, and neuro-linguistic programmer with an interest in personal development and branding. Kamsi Chima, a budding entrepreneur, TEDx speaker, and peer mentor with a huge appetite for learning. David Folaromi, addiction counselor, substance abuse coach, and philanthropist. Etima Omer, exceptional teen mentor, certified counselor, and responsible teens coach on a mission to raise responsible young adults. Aluashima Shapira, curriculum expert, a trained teacher, assessor, and trainer, and early childhood education guru. Ade Jones, full-time house husband, TEDx speaker, author, coach, and therapist, an expert in helping parents support their children who troubles behavior. Wind Anare, an entrepreneur that runs a system that helps young people forge a favorably financial path, amongst other things. And now, our convener and host of the PTM Annual Conference, Mary Beth Chima, a leading advocate for parenting by modeling and 100% parenting support. She helps parents become true mentors and effective teachers to their children.
For more enquiries, please call 08130 621 566.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for staying here. Thank you for being with us. All right, so our guest we've already played the profile of our guest. I'm sure a lot of us know who our guest is, and I'm going to be bringing her on screen in the next couple of minutes. If you've been following me for a while, if you know me, then you would know that our guest for today is someone that is very special, someone that is very important and special to me. I mean, on this journey, most of what I have come to know, most of what I have come to do is as a result of this person believing first. So I am like that child, the same thing I say to you, do with your children, believe first. When you have children, have one person, at least one person that believes, you give them power and you give them the motivation and the wings that they need to fly. This is what this person is to me. And this is how this person has been to me, since I got to know her. So without further ado, we've wasted a lot of time already. Not wasted, we've had a lot of time already doing other things. So let's bring our guest up so that we can get the full package of her message today. All right, here we go. Hello, Coach. Good evening and welcome. I think I want to take away this background. It is disturbing my life. Let me take it so I can see you well. Welcome, Coach Wendy. It's good to have you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mary Beth, and well done. And for the records, I actually had to connect with I would need you to reconnect the system. I will tell you when, so that you can bring back me from the system. Because I'm logged on, I'm using my laptop at the moment because I had a bit of a technical issue with my system. I hope that works.
Okay. All right. So we'll just continue until you prompt me. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Coach Wendy had to go because she had some Okay, looks like she's coming back. All right. Is that fine? Are you back, coach? Can you hear me? Oh, she can't hear me. Let's see. I don't know. Coach Wendy cannot hear me. I'm going to just bring her back on screen. I don't know why the network is. Let's see. You're muted. You're muted. Unmute. Let me see. All right. Sorry about that. I think she's. Let me see. Sorry about that. Just well, wait. Give us a minute, please. Sorry, I think Coach Wendy is having some technical glitches. Sorry about that. All right, so while we're waiting for the coach to get things sorted, sometimes we have these network things and there isn't much we can do about it. All right, so while we wait for the coach to get back, I would just play you another. Okay, I think she's back. So let's see if it's better. Better now.
Yes.
All right, coach, can you hear us now?
Yes, loud and clear. I had to log out.
You are muted for a bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I be heard now?
All right. Yes, I can hear you, but it's noisy here. So I'll just go. So welcome, Coach Wendy. We're excited to have you here. You're no stranger here, and we're always excited to have you in PTM. So I would go backstage and allow you so that you can just do your thing. Is that okay?
Yes.
Are you fine? Can you hear me?
Fine. I can hear you.
All
I
right,
just,
then.
I don't know, a bit everywhere.
Sorry, I think her network is just really. Oh my God! Can't you switch over?
Yeah, I'm trying to switch over to
quickly.
the system, but I can't even. I don't even know what's wrong. Hello, can you still hear me? Okay, please, can you confirm that you can hear me? Write in the comment section. That would help us a lot since we're already here. Please, can you confirm that you can hear me in the comment section? That would really help us a lot. If you can hear me, please do let me know so that we can go on. I see you guys. I see all of the comment. We can hear you. Okay, great. Because I'm using
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Because I'm using my phone, which I'm actually really hustling to switch over to my system right now. I'm a bit I'm not able to see the chats immediately, but I guess that within the course of the conversation, I will be able to have this sorted. Please do bear with me. I really do apologize. It's not in my character to come in with all of these tech issues. I usually have God do it somehow. All right, but that's fine. And we're going to go just right in it. So today we are talking about how a child will thrive. If your child can thrive, can your child really thrive? That was the question.
All right, Coach Wendy is off again. I think we are. It's one of those days that network says, I want to show myself. All right, but she'll be back in a minute. I think she'll be back. All right, she's right back.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So sorry. Okay, so I think that if you've listened to me over the years, I've done this for many years. One of the core things that I have said over and again is raising responsible children. And when we ask the question, can your children thrive? It's actually even funny to me because we're having adults who ain't thriving. So our parents were not even able to get us to the point where we were launched. And there's something that we call the launch plan in the academy. Many of the parents who are here are in the academy. I can see some of them. I see Jamila, I see Omolola, who was also a speaker in this conference. Thank you, job well done. And thank you to everybody. I kind of heard a few of the conversation, when I was going in and out, and I heard Marybeth actually say in her words, the conference is free and all of that. This conference isn't free. This conference is paid for. It's just that someone somewhere is paying for it. So don't get it twisted. This conference is paid for. Someone is paying for it. I do not want you to take for granted whatever it is that you get here. The people who have spoken on this forum are people who you will ordinarily not get into their DM and get any response. But because we also understand that these things we do for humanity, we do for the fact that we really want to make a change. So every opportunity to make a change, we're there. However, I must warn, no one conference can ever deliver to you what you need to raise a wholesome child. No one conference. Never, ever. All right? Because a child is bigger than whatever it is that you can think. Think about it. A human being is bigger than anything. Raising a child takes a lot. I know when I started this conversation, I started on is it possible? Are we really launching our children? Are they really launched? Are they ready to thrive? And I asked the question, how many of us are even ready to thrive? Many of us are not. Many of us are not ready. Many of us are not even thriving. We're just striving. They're not the same thing. All right. We're struggling to survive. A lot of us were put on a survival mode by the way we were parented. We were put on survival mode. So all we know to do is to survive, because the people who raised us actually raised us to survive, not to thrive. They're two different things. So we were raised to survive because the people who raised us to survive and not to thrive. Survival is a different ball game. Thriving is a different ball game. Many of us are not living, we're just surviving. And that is one of the things our upbringing gave us. So many of the times when I share conversations on how we were raised, I hear a lot of people say, but we turned out okay. Yes, we turned out okay. That's why we have our brothers who are 40 living in their parents' house, 30 living in their parents' house. You're still collecting money from your children, your parents, and all of that. Now, let me say this to you. If you are still being bailed or you're still collecting subsidy from your parents, you're not an adult yet. A definition of an adult is being independent. And you will bear me witness. There are a lot of people who are not an adult, who are not adults in today's world. So today we are asking the question: are you repeating the same thing? Are you creating same circle? Are you doing same thing that you have done with your child? Now, come to think of it, when we talk about children thriving, a lot of us we think education. How many of us thought that when I talked about children thriving? Let me see your comments in the comment section. How many of us thought about, children just doing well in their education when we talked about thriving? When you saw this topic, I'm sure one of the things that came to mind was, oh, wow, our children thriving in school, our children doing well, and all of that and all of that. But how many of us have really given it a thought that a child can do well in school and not be able to thrive? I like to use this analogy a lot, and I use a lot in the academy for the parents that I mentor, because I personally believe that there are some conversations that I cannot have with you in a one-off because you're listening to me at a one-off. If I say it, you might stone me, so I would rather not say them. So I'm going to be very careful also. All right. If you want to hear the core truth, you might have to, come and listen to it in a long run. Now, there's a conversation we share every time, and that conversation is on raising a child who is obedient yet foolish. Raising a child who is well behaved yet foolish. Raising a child who is a virgin yet cannot thrive. A child who can thrive is a child who has skills to be able to deliver to the world that they find themselves. I hope that I'm going to be seeing comment. I don't know if I am seeing comment. All right. Okay. Thank you. A child who is going to thrive is a child who would actually be, having the skills to be able to survive in their world. All right. So it is very key that we begin to have this conversation. These conversations are hardcore conversations for us and our children. I've seen a lot of parents say things like, I don't want my children to suffer. I'm going to do, things for them. And I said that a thriving child is a child that as your child grows, you increase responsibility and remove comfort. Somebody said to me, can't a child be comfortable and also be responsible? I will not give answer to that question here. All right? Because then again, it will be misunderstood. Now, one of the things that I have said over and again is a place of responsibility and a place of raising children who can thrive. And today, I'm going to be taking this topic from the place of the child that thrives is a child that will do what? That's the question. Before I talk about responsibility, let me talk about the skills. Now, what kind of skill does a child who needs to thrive need? What kind of skill does a child who needs to thrive need? Oh yes, Omolola, if you're still collecting subsidy from your parents, then you're not an adult. An adult is a fully independent individual, fully independent of their parent. All right. And we're having children that we're giving subsidy to even at 20, 21. The latest now, I'm seeing 30-year-olds. I'm seeing parents who are going off to actually go and, marry wives, sustain their children, pay them salaries, and all of that. I see a lot. All right. I've been privileged to mentor, to coach thousands of parents. And I can tell you for free, some of the things that we see, we might not also see them here. What are those skills? Number one skill that you need to actually begin to look at. Time will not permit me to go into details of how you're going to learn these skills, which is why I said there's no one conference that's going to solve your problem on parenting. Number one is emotional intelligence skills. You can learn them, you can Google them. All right, emotional intelligence skills. How emotionally intelligent is your child? The home is primarily a training ground. The home is primarily a training ground. The home is a place to equip your children. Is a place to allow your children make mistakes. Is a place that you need your children to actually be able to learn. But what do we have? What we have now in the homes are homes where children are not allowed to make mistakes, not allowed to fail, where children are raised to become hypocritical. In the process of doing that, we end up not giving children any form of skill. We're more interested in presenting the world with a perfect child than actually equipping the child. It's important that we understand that it's about equipping your child more than it's about your child being obedient. And I'm going to break it down. If you're a Christian, please, by all means, you can read through the scriptures. If you're not, listen to my story. Principles are applicable around religious bodies. There was this story in the Bible that talks about the foolish virgins and the wise virgins. And I'm going to anchor my conversations on this parable. And that story that was told by Jesus himself, he was trying to pass a message. He said in that story that just 10 people, they were virgins. So it means that every single one of them, what really mattered, was part of them being good. Being a virgin means, we liken it to being good. We liken it to being, in quote, perfect and all of that. But when they got into the space where they needed to actually use skills, the 5 of them were called foolish, even though they were virgins. Righteousness does not exempt you from actually going through a consequence of a wrong foundation. That's why the Bible said that because the foundation, he said, the foundation is wrong. I said, my people, what shall the righteous do if the foundation is wrong? If you lay a wrong foundation, it doesn't matter how much you pray, there is a consequence for it. Those 5 foolish virgins were not skilled. Now, the wise virgins were not just skilled in knowing what to do. They had an extra oil. Now, they were also skilled at being able to say no when the foolish virgins were asking them. When you read through that parable, there was a lot of skills exhibited by the wise virgins. But let's go on as we begin to also, give fleshing out what we are talking about. So I said emotional intelligence skills. That's one of the skills that your child will require. I'm going to just run through it and then we get into responsibility. And then emotional intelligence would mean that you have the ability. Part of emotional intelligence is actually knowing when to say no and when to actually pull out from something. That's part of emotional intelligence. Now, unfortunately, we have children who can't say no, or who can't even define why they are doing what they are doing because there is no teaching. Now, what we do most of the times in our teaching, in our training as parents, because of lack of knowledge, all right? One of the things that we do because of lack of knowledge in our setting is that we teach our children the how without teaching them the why. Now, the how is the methodology and the why it's the why is the intent, right? The why is the principle. The why is the principle. So we teach our children, just do it like this. And when our children complain, we actually have a problem with that. So many of the times, what we're doing is that we are actually raising our children. So sorry about that. I want to mute the one on the side. All right, I was trying to come in using my laptop. Marybeth, can you hear me? If you can hear me, this might be a good opportunity to actually
Yes, I can.
bring me.
Okay. You want me to bring you on the other one?
Yes, please. Can you hear me? Am I good?
Yes, very well.
Okay, great. Okay, then. All right. Thank you so much. So, as we were saying, we were talking about being able to actually get children who are skilled. Okay? So, we talked about emotional intelligence, and we talked about cultural intelligence. Talked about, yes, emotional intelligence first. Sorry about that. I think I need to leave here. Okay, great. So we talked about emotional intelligence, and I was talking about being able to say no and all of that. Let's move on. My time is limited. Cultural intelligence skills. I had a conversation recently with a set of parents, a friend and a parent who was telling me that, oh, what do you mean, that in Nigeria, but no person was telling me that, oh, if I go somewhere, there are places I go to, I don't eat their food. And I said to her, it's okay for you to do all of that and do your face. I said, there are places your children will be in. They will need to understand that being able to understand how the culture works is important. And part of how understanding how a culture works would also be to try to eat what they eat. So cultural intelligence is a skill, and there's too many of what it is. It's part of our curriculum in the academy. We're going to teach that later in the year. I won't go into that. And then we have social intelligence skills. Right now we're raising children who cannot thrive, who cannot make friends, who cannot talk to people, who cannot say, You have a child you're going out with. Your child is being asked, so what's your name? And then you say, oh, his name is Emeka. We are speaking for our children, unfortunately, because we haven't even raised our children to understand that they need those skills to thrive. And then we have spiritual intelligence skills. Spiritual intelligence skills are skills that you need to discern. Discernment is a skill. A very big one. Ability to hear from God is a valid skill in the 21st century. Prayer and how to pray. What it means to be a student of the Word of God. How to discern, how to apply scriptures in our daily lives. These are spiritual skills. And our children, we need to understand that. So I've said, different skills. I said emotional intelligence skills. I said social intelligence skills. I said cultural intelligence skills. I said spiritual intelligence skills. Now, let us go down to the tips and the hacks, the strategies you need to actually be able to raise a child who can thrive. Never, ever launch a child you have not equipped. Let me say that again. Never, ever launch a child that you've not equipped. Launching a child will mean launching an adult. Between the ages of 18 to 22 should be a long time for a child, extended if need be. But before that child gets to that point, the child will need skills to be able to actually thrive. Never launch a child you've not been equipped, out there. Now, we all want to raise children who are responsible. And I usually say that the first people hit by irresponsibility of a child is the parent. So when you finish babying your child, now, parenting is not about babying children, it's about raising adults. So the aim of parenting is to raise adults, is not to baby a child. But unfortunately, that's what we're doing, and that's why we have a failure to launch generation. And it's not just this generation. That's nothing to do with this generation. Many of us in our time didn't launch. Many of us were just surviving because we were raised with people, we were raised by people who only understood survival. So we're not equipped to thrive. We were just equipped to survive. Now, we're not even equipping our children to survive again. And we are not even equipping them to thrive either. So now there are two balls dropped at the same time. So imagine what the resultant effect is going to look like. How do you raise a child, to take responsibility and to make impact in the world? That's what responsibility is about. You must start seeing responsibility as something joyful to your child. A teenager came to me and said to me, I really wish my mother taught me how to take initiative, how to become responsible, how to do things without being told. Whenever people define discipline, you hear them define discipline with, discipline is about beating a child or, making the child stand straight and all of that. No, discipline is about being able to lead yourself. That's what discipline is. When people ask me the meaning of discipline, I said discipline is structure. Discipline means that every day that I come home, my then 10-year-old, they are 12 now. I have a set of twins that are 12 years old now. Discipline means that every day when I'm back home, there's food on the table. That's what discipline is. And they've done that for 2 years non-stop, provided they are home. I don't need to run around. They understand that you need to actually be led. You need to lead yourself. I humorously usually say that if you need to switch off your DSTV and take your decoder card or whatever it is home and, go wherever, take it to work, there's something wrong with the parenting system that you are currently running on. And I usually also say that many of the times we think that that's actually the real parenting. No, you're actually raising children who can thrive. You are raising children who can take initiative. And I've never had parental control in my home. Don't follow me, please. There's a lot of work where I'm coming from. So don't even say, so I heard coach say, oh, she does not have parental control. So that means I can do it without parental. Please come put your parental control. You haven't done as much work that I have done. So I've never had to look at my DSTV and say, you know what, I'm going to block. I don't even know how to do it. But yet, the children will never watch what they are not supposed to watch, whether we are there or we're not there. It comes from a place. That's why I said, do not launch a child you have not equipped. Don't go back from this conference and say, oh, I heard one coach say she doesn't use parental control, so it means that you can do it. You can do it, but that's when you have done the work. Please don't do it without doing the work. Okay? So, responsible child, there's something I call the responsible quotient. Responsible quotient. Now, every child wants to see themselves as able, powerful, ability to respond to a need around them. You need to start seeing responsibility as something joyful. When my children are around, I can shut down. I have very long nails, hair fixed, lashes made, just, the baby girl lifestyle and all of that. While some people have decided that, parenting is, we can do it, following the children about until they are 18, it's fine. All right. Like my friends and I have, come up with a lot of conversations on this. And we say, well, you can do whatever it is that works for you. But just remember that when the chips are down, what works for you might not be what is good for your child. I was in a conference on Monday at the Lagos State House, and there was a conversation, and we came to a point where we agreed that nations that survive, nations that create systems are the ones that are actually producing better people. Nations that have a template for parenting. See, until we come to a table to say childcare is a system, family is a system, and we need to actually have a template for it, we're going to be going right in cycles, producing the kind of product that we have. What we see around are all made in Nigerian products, and we can't take that away. So you must understand that raising a child who is responsible is key to their self-esteem. And you cannot launch a child who does not have, a right self-esteem. A child's self-esteem needs to be, the child needs to be able to go out there and say, I can. And for their lives to have meaning, parenting isn't just about doting over your child. There's a place of raising children who will take on responsibility. The idea is not to teach your children to handle themselves responsibly in the world, because that's not what they need. You need to teach them that they have power to contribute positively to the world and to relate to them so they know what to do with it. So if you just, putting your children and said, oh, it's about you, no. There's a place of what they contribute to the system. And it's not about you, the parent. So the bottom line is that the child will be responsible to the degree that you support them to be. Let me say that again. Your child will be responsible to the degree that you support them to be. For so many years now, we have been known as the Intentional Parent Academy as an academy that is hinged on teaching children skills and children being responsible. Over the years, my children started baking whole full meals, taking charge of the kitchen at 10. Now, over the years, that's not even breaking any record. Because when I used to share it, parents used to, you hear things like, what is she talking about? Oh, that's a lie. How can a child make a whole this food and all of that? That is no record. That is no longer a record. Right now, in the academy, we're having 4-year-olds who cook, who prepare fried chicken, fried egg and plantain, who prepare indomie, who make their tea, make their cereal. 4-year-old. You think I broke any record? There's nothing. I didn't do anything. What I did was normal. Now, that is the real thing. All right? Being able to actually make your child will be responsible. Somebody help me write that in the comment section. Your child will be responsible to the degree that you support them to be. There's no conversation, with that. What are the things that you must do to be able to launch, prepare your child to be able to thrive? Number one, let them learn to take responsibility for their mess from day one. We always clean up after our children. When I see parents do that, I laugh. A 1-year-old pours water. You don't show the 1-year-old how to clean up after themselves. You go and do it. We have a bailout system of parenting in Nigeria. And that's why we have 30-year-olds sit in a home and being fed by their parents. Nonsense. That doesn't make sense at all. And it's because that's the kind of system that we currently run. I know so many. I know 40-year-olds who live in their parents' house. So many of them. And it's fine. So we run that kind of system because we've been picking up after them. We shout on a child who has poured water. We beat the child. Then we go back and go and clean that water for the child. A child didn't wash his school uniform. You beat him, yell, scream. All those you're yelling and beating, they don't do nothing. You can yell and beat forever. A child that is unskilled is unskilled. And this same child will say, I'm beating him, the child should go and sleep. You bail him out, you wash the clothes, and then you hang it for him. In the morning, he wakes up and he wears it. So we run a bailout system of parenting, especially for our boys, by the way. Number 2, you need to allow your children to fail. Many of us we don't want to allow our children to fail. If your child does not learn how to fail, your child cannot be launched. Because your child will be alien to failure. So some of us have very smart children who will normally not fail in classwork. I do. But there are many places where children fail. Because when we talk about failure, we want to protect these children from every kind of failure. Some time ago, our son was supposed to go and climb something, right? And it was actually really scary, some kind of height. And then, he was up there and he was not telling my husband, this is really scary. I cannot do it, something of that nature. And my husband said, yes, you can do it. Because the measures for you to be able to fail and try again have been put in place. And I usually say that if you want to raise a child to actually be able to thrive, they must learn to do dangerous things carefully. They must learn to do dangerous things carefully. I won't go further into this. Time won't permit me. Take them and give them opportunity to contribute to common good. All right? And whatever behavior you acknowledge is what grows. Whatever you focus on is what grows. Give them an opportunity. Teach them to actually be able to do that. Reduce instructions and replace it with asking your child to do the thinking. Instead of constantly saying, is your lunch packed? Have you packed your lunch bag? Why not say, what is the next thing you need to do on your list to get ready for school? That's how you teach children to think. Now, these things are not going to come upon you. They're not going to come upon you as anointing. It's not going to happen. They're not going to be anointed in church and then you suddenly know these things. No, you need to learn. There's a verse in the Bible in Malachi that says that because you have refused knowledge, I will abandon your children. Crazy. We read some of these things, we don't even listen. Say, my people perish for lack of knowledge. After that, my people perish for lack of knowledge. There's an addition. All right? There's an addition to that same conversation. It's Hosea, not Malachi. So, we quote the first part and then we leave the other part. Because the other part doesn't really, it's not something that we want to talk about. It says, my people are destroyed. It's a part A and part B. It's actually Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. And I'm going to be reading King James Version. He says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou had rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou had forgotten the law of thy God, I would also forget thy children. So when people say, my people perish because of knowledge, they stop there. There's another thing in the part B of that same scripture that you never get to read. Because anyway, you don't read it yourself, you get read to. That's part of spiritual skills. All right. So begin to reduce instructions that you replace it. You don't learn these things from you learn it actually from by learning. And you need to teach your children to be responsible for their interaction with other people by using repair instead of punishment. All right. Talk on effect of you need to understand repair. You need to understand repair. Repair strategy means that a child actually takes to the process to acknowledge what has happened. Unfortunately, what we do is that we punish children for making a mistake. We punish children for not having skills. We punish children for misbehaviors. Instead of actually repairing, instead of actually teaching children to learn, we punish them for being unskilled. Think about it. Many of the things you punish your child for is because they are not skilled at it. That's it. When you really think about it, you really realize that there's a lot of role that you need to play. Another thing that you need to do is that you need to stop bailing your child out. If you're going to raise your child to be able to, prepare them to thrive. Now, this is just, so when it comes to launching a child, there are different stages of launching a child, and it's content in the parenting plan that we shared in the Parenting Academy. Fortunately, again, I can't share that here. It's a whole full, class documented. So what I'm even sharing with you is still at the level of the pre-launch. We're not even talking about the test launch, and we're not even talking about the launch, because when a child is skilled and is not tested, that thing is blabberdash. And we have a lot of children domesticated, skilled, but not tested. And they are still not able to use those skills because those skills are not tested. Don't rescue your children. When your children does something, negative consequences, don't cover it up. Because we think that when we beat our children, that's it. If you want to really raise a child who is skilled, you want to actually acquire skills yourself to be able to do that. Model responsibility, and accountability, something that you need to show yourself to be able to actually give. And the last one I'm going to be sharing is never label your child irresponsible. You need to create schedules. Let the children learn to understand, to take initiatives. Stop making them, their well-being about you is about you. Everything is about you. One of the reasons why you're obsessed with an obedient child, in quote, is because it's just all about you. It's all about you. My child must obey me. They must do what I say, the way I say it. Says who? If you're really raising a child who's going to go the way he should go and not the way you should go. That's what the Bible says. It says, train up a child in the way that you should go, and when he should go, and when he grows up, he will not depart from it. There's a way he should go. The way he should go is not your way. So when you keep insisting that it has to be my way, they have to obey me, anything I say, you might actually be going against where he should be going. Very important. You need to actually ask yourself, am I really raising my child in the way he should go or the way I want him to go? Any child, a pastor once said, a child that will go the way he should go might be a child that you don't like. Because the way he should go might not be a way that might be pleasing to you. In quote. All right. So it's important that you begin to look at, the place of raising children who are skilled. Now, what happened to those children, the 5 virgins? Let's go back. Those 5 virgins were good, obedient children. You can raise a good child who is foolish. You can raise a good child who cannot thrive. You need to actually understand this. So when you're raising your child, you need to think the place of skill. How skilled is my child? A child that you can launch is a child that has the skills to be able to be launched. I like the way my pastor puts it, Bishop Davido Edebo. He says that if a child cannot fly a plane or a human being, whoever, I said a child, he used the child for that example. And he was trying to put this place of skills. And you take the child in front on a hanger, right? where planes are parked, and you tell the child, if you do not drive this plane, fly this plane today, I will kill you. The child has never learned how to fly a plane. You will kill that child because that child will never be able to deliver to actually be able to fly that plane. If you want your child to be able to fly a plane, then you need to teach your child how to fly a plane. You know, I once said that novices do not, I saw that quote by Pastor Sri, novices do not raise geniuses. If you're going to raise an exceptional child, then there's something that you must do. And I like to say it, you know, in an interesting way. And I'm going to quote the scriptures again. The Bible says that there is a way to the gate. It said, the labor of the foolish wearied them, because they do not know how to get to the city. One of the reasons why we're having parents who are struggling today, who are wearied by their journey, is because they do not know the way to the city. There are principles in parenting, don't get it twisted. There are templates in parenting that shows you how a child is raised. That's why Manoah, the father of Samson, went back to God to say, the child you are giving me that is special, where is a template to actually raise this child? There is a template to raise kings. Samson was a king in his time. He was a special child. No other person was, actually written in that time that their parents went to ask, where is the template? So if you want to raise children who are exceptional, you want to begin to actually look for a template. Again, the labor of the foolish wearied them because they do not know how to get to the city. There is a place of the city, there is a key, there is a way. Don't be weary on your journey. Knowledge actually puts you in a place where you don't get weary. That's why the same Bible says that knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times. Many people are running kitty, kata, kata, because there's no stability, there's no knowledge. And I usually, when I speak in the academy, I see how settled in the parents in our academy are. I see how settled in the parents who are learning are. When things happen, they are not, everywhere. I see how settled in, even the people who are also in the PTM academy, right? Where most of them are actually also in our academy. I see how settled in, understanding of concepts, what is happening and all of that. They're not agitated. There's nothing that is happening in the parental world today that agitates me. No, none at all. My children can live anywhere, can be anywhere. Nothing agitates me at all. Wherever it is that I need to raise them, they will be fine. Because these principles are tenable anywhere. All right. Mary Bird, I can see that I've done up to 1 hour. I would like to stop here if there's opportunity to take questions so that I don't cut into the time of the conference.
All right, Coach Wendy, thank you. Okay, yeah, and we actually started with all the glitch and all of that, so it has actually stretched beyond the time, But you've done justice to that topic. Thank you very much, as usual. All right, so I can see a lot of comments. I am going to look through and see if we have questions. We will not have time to do any advert or anything because we've taken a lot of time already, and we still have one last session. Please, if you have any questions, please just put them in the comments so that we can put them before Coach Wendy and she can answer us before she leaves. She said a lot of things. You cannot raise children without skills right now. You will be doing them a disservice if you do that. You cannot raise children who cannot thrive. You cannot raise children that you're continuously saving. Save them today, and tomorrow they will continue to look for people who will save them. So when you finish saving them today, their husbands will save them tomorrow, their wives will save them tomorrow. And when there's nobody else to save them, they will force people to save them by taking it violently or forcefully. So if you're going to save your child, make up your mind whether you want them to continue to look for saviors all their lives, or you just get them to learn the skills that they need to save themselves. That's what the coach is saying today. All right, so I'm looking out for your questions. If you have any questions, please, let's have them. I can see people reiterating the points here. in the comments. All right, please. Yeah, I can't see any questions right now. Please, if you have any questions, just put them there in the comments. In the absence of any questions, I'll just give you another minute to see if we get questions. Okay. So, in the absence of your questions, or while we're waiting for your questions, let me talk again about the campaign that we have. Okay, I said it's a Children's Day campaign, and what we're doing in this campaign is we're going to schools where we have children from low-income homes and children in orphanages. Usually, these are the ones that nobody remembers to celebrate with on Children's Day, basically. So we want to create a culture where they can expect something. Okay, someone in the team actually said, why don't we just focus on the schools so that every year the children in that school can look forward to something, as opposed to going to different schools at different times. Maybe we should concentrate on, so that way you're helping the children even build a library, because every year you bring them a quality book, and without knowing it, this may be the only books that these children have to read. All right, so what we do is we go there with goodies, and then we also take a quality book that the children can read and learn, learn skills that, like Coach Wendy is talking about. Okay, sometimes these children, their parents will not come on this journey and know what to do. So let's push materials into their hands that will introduce them into some of these skills by themselves. All right, so I can't see any question here. Is more thinking than question. Okay. Someone said it's more thinking. Let me put a comment there. Coach Randy, you just mentioned that there is a template for raising children, Queen, etc. But I have the question with the way we dress our kids today. I want to ask how do we raise responsible kids with reference to dressing? Okay, it's like a question, Coach. Are you there, Coach Randy? Hello, ma'am. Why is my light dark? Coach Randy, are you there? Can you see the question on the screen?
I can hear you, but it's breaking, so I can't even hear what you're saying. But you can conclude.
Okay, sorry. There's a question on the screen. Okay, I think her network is an issue again. So let's take this one.
For giving us this pleasant surprise, visiting our children for the Children's Day. We didn't have any plan for Children's Day because of the security risk, COVID-19. But I've told parents, take them to anywhere you can take them for tomorrow so they can enjoy their Children's Day. Then we brought it to our school pleasantly with a gift of a book and snacks to go with it. Really, really grateful. God bless you and prosper what you are doing in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, ma'am. All right, ma'am.
All right. I think we've lost Coach Wendy there. I don't know if she's going to come back. I don't know if she's going to come back. But let's look at the question. You said, Queen, but I have the question with the way we dress our kids today. I want to ask, how do we raise responsible kids with reference to dressing? I mean, I think it's the same thing Coach is saying, right? There is all that is out there, right? And people choose what they want to do because we have this narrative, or we have this argument every time that we want to do what works for us. If you come to the space where, or you come to the realization that there is a template for raising children, right? Now, in that template, you will go ahead and try to seek that template. I mean, if Coach Wendy is saying there is a template, you don't know what that template is. So what do? It means that you need knowledge. So you need to look for people that can equip you with this knowledge. Because, hey, the time has come where we would recognize that parenting cannot be weaned, and parenting is not one of those things that you do based on how you feel per time, right? We've realized that at this point, we need to get knowledge in parenting. If we get knowledge in every other areas of our lives, we get knowledge in our jobs, we get knowledge to raise dogs and to raise dogs and to farm, run a poultry farm or a fish pond. We get knowledge to do all of these things. So it's the same way. You can't go put a pond out there, buy the fingerlings or whatever they call them, and then you push them into the pond without having the knowledge of how to do it. Now, you can't sit down in your house and lie down on your bed and the knowledge of it will come just because you know how to eat fish. You will have to go out to find out, how do I raise fishes, or how do I run, a fishery and all of that? How do I start a poultry? What do I need and all of that? So it's the same thing. There is a template. Now we have to go out and look for what is that template? What is contained in that template? And that's what we do at the academy. We tell you what that template is. It's the same thing Coach Wendy is saying. They tell you at TIP what that template is so that you can use the templates to raise your children. Okay, and there's a lot in books, in parenting books, we'll find this template. In programs like this, we'll talk about this template. But as she also said, you can't get all this knowledge in one conference. You can't get all this knowledge in one class. You will need to do more than just a class. So that's why you need to reach us. You need to go ahead and reach out so that you can find out deeper knowledge and insight as per what you do. This is what we do in the Mentor Parent Support Program. It's a hand-holding program where we hold parents, accountable. We teach them what to do. We show them what to do. We share templates with them. We share tools and strategies with them. And so we guide them on how to use these tools. We guide them on how to use these strategies and then how to apply them in their parenting. Now, we don't leave it at that. We ensure that we hold you accountable and we give you the opportunity and the chance for every time you fail to go back to the drawing board. And we're willing to stay there, go back with you to the drawing board until we get it right, and then the journey continues. So at this point, we'll have to end this session because we have our last session. So don't go away. We'll be right back in 5 minutes to round up this conference. It's been an amazing 4 days, and we do not take it for granted that you have been here with us in the last 4 days. So hey, this is not the time to go away. Just hang in there. Let's round up. We'll probably not have a whole hour in the next session. We'll probably do it in less than an hour so that we can go and prepare for the week. Thank you very much. We didn't have a time to say thank you to Coach Wendy. I hope she's watching behind the scene and all of that. So thank you very much, Coach Wendy. We appreciate that you made time to be here today out of your tight schedule. We do not take it for granted. Thank you for all you do for the academy. Thank you for all you do for parents. Thank you for all you're doing in the world to ensure that the narrative about parenting is changed or altered from some of the dysfunctional things that we have learned over the years. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Thank you and bye. All right. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Delight Awo, and I am 9 years old. Today I'll be talking about how the mastermind class has really helped me. Okay, I must confess that before I joined this mastermind class, my room has been so scattered. Before I joined this mastermind class, there's no way my mom could ever come to the room without saying, Delight, why is your room this scattered? And then I'll be like, I forgot. But when I've come inside the mastermind class, it's helped me to think out of the box. It's helped me to think well. And during this mastermind class period, I've actually made a schedule of my going out and coming in, so I won't be that scattered, so that I will get my books ready for homework, the works I've done today, so that when I'm done with the books I've done today, I can actually show my mom to know that my books are actually complete. And this mastermind, I'm very, very sure that I won't regret it. By the changes that I've done to me right now, I'm pretty sure I won't regret joining this mastermind class. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Iba Daisy, and I'm here to talk about the mastermind class. Since I joined the mastermind class, I have been able to set my goals and always make
years old, and I'm a participant of the Mastermind Circle. The Mastermind Circle has helped me in setting my goals and made me to be accountable. I now set my goals on 4 areas, which are academic goals, self-direction, habits, and kingdom life. I no longer wait for my mom to tell me what to do every time. I now set my goals and then do them. At the end of the day, I set my reports. I say my affirmations every day and my prayers without my mom telling me. And the Mastermind Circle has broadened my baking skills and swimming skills. My mom no longer